So today we are talking about EFT tapping. And it's simple, it's very simple. It was created by Gary Craig many, many decades ago. And the family, the Ortner family, it's a brother and sister, they really are bringing this up. Uh, they gave it life and they updated and upgraded the method. And I just want to talk about Gary Craig because he was the creator. And I think we need to honor people that really came up first with the idea. So they come up, and many of the holistic things, they come up from intuition. Sometimes it's not science back there. We're not so holistic and so open to show things that are connection with the pain and the nervous system and the subconscious mind and the things that are before birth. It was not much understood. So these people that came up with ideas sometimes were for intuition. Dr. Appileggi with craniosacral and so many others came from an intuition they had, and then decades later, science came up to understand and explain why. So today we know that the tapping points, they have a connection with the amygdala. Amygdala is a little tiny part of our brain that is responsible for the adjustment and the gauge, how it gauges the survival reactions, like the flight or fight or freeze that we all have. So when you tap in these points, that's very simple points, very easy access, that you kind of give some of input, you kind of shake it out. And whatever is fixed there could be pain, could be stress, could be memories, could be belief system, could be anything, something mindset or repetitive thoughts or anger, whatever it is that you feel stuck, that you can't go over, you just go there and you shake these points out, and it releases it. It really gives a break to that, for that feeling. And with this break, it's a freedom. That's why the name is emotional freedom technique, because it frees us from some emotions that we are stuck into. Any question? Did you ever hear about EFT or tapping before? Did you have any idea of what it was?
No.
No.
I didn't realize it used the meridians, so that's always interesting.
Yeah. So, and I'm quite sure that in the beginning, they were not thinking about this. But then, as I said, people start putting things together and other minds start being interested in that. And then they start seeing coincidences that actually are coming from all sources of what comes from India, from China, we are all in this mix of knowledge, of wisdom, that sometimes there's not clear, and sometimes science is not there yet. Science is going sometimes for one area, right? More anatomical and scientifical, and the pathology and the physiology, and then the holistic comes from the mind, from emotions, and the science was so divided this way. And now, little by little, and the spirituality, oh, poor thing, was so above and inaccessible. Now we just put all that together. Now, I mean, many decades, many people are doing, but now more and more, it's body, mind, and emotions and the spirituality get together, get closer and closer, understanding that one thing depends on the other. Deb, did you ever hear about EFT or tapping or?
I've only heard you mention it, or I've heard the other Debbie talking about it, but I had no idea what it was.
So I already gave you a video. So it's like this is the more modern EFT, and I will give you a couple of other videos, and we will do together. You just keep thinking about your own issue, anything. You can be anxious about one matter, or today you are a little bit upset with something that happened, or you have a long-term something that bothers you or bothered you a lot, but when you think about it, it's still a something there. Whatever it is, you don't need to reveal if you don't want, but you can if you want some help, okay? So now I'll put the second video and just keep thinking. If you can practice, you can keep practicing just to have the feeling. And if you found the place, when we are doing together about your own issue, you already have a little practice. Don't think it's more than what it is. It is simple.
And you always start here?
You start here when you are just creating the problem. You're just making the statement of the problem, right? So
Okay.
for example, I am so afraid of dogs. I'm so afraid of dogs. Dogs, just the smell of a dog or a vision of a dog, even if it's very far from me, I am petrified. I hate dogs and I don't want to have this feeling anymore. I am a grown-up woman and I don't want to be like a baby. And sometimes dogs are so small and people, they love their dogs and I feel so uncomfortable when I say, oh my God, dogs. I don't want to offend them. So I want to really decrease this. So you are making your statement. Can be short, can be long. So you are accessing. So you are talking a loud voice. You are listening to your voice. You are accessing your fear in your mind, in your heart, in your soul. So you're just, and here is the point where you are really declaring what is the issue you are working right now. And then you
Okay.
go and you just do that, okay? And then you have these, and then you have the 8 points, right? Because this is the ninth. You have the 8 points of the sequence where you go to the eyebrow. You can do both. You can do just one. You can cross right arm, left side, or vice versa. You can do, doesn't, it's simple. Don't create a problem where it doesn't exist. And then you go eyebrows, and then you go the side of your eye, and then you go under your eye, and then you go below your nose, you go below your lip, or they call chin point, and then you go to your clavicle, your collarbone here. There is a round thing. Put your finger here. There is a round thing like a U. So you just slide your fingers, you find the very start of your clavicle or your collarbone. It's there. That's the point you will tap. Here, you can tap this way. You can tap this way because you get both, or you can make a fist and tap both at the same time. Doesn't matter. You can put both fingers, both hands, right? You do 2 to 3 fingers to reach the points. And then you go here, collarbones, and then you go under the arm. As I am big and I have big boobs, what I do, I put the hand in the same side. It's kind of the middle of the bra strap. It's kind of 4 inches below the armpit. So I do this and I do that. I press with this part of my hand, I press here. If you can tap the other side, if you are skinny enough to tap with your 3 fingers or 4 fingers, you go and tap. If you can tap like me, you just press as if it was a tapping. Just go like this and I press. I don't need to do this. I can do just subtle, but strong enough to feel my rib cage in the area of the middle of my bra strap, okay? And then you go to the top of your head. Top of your head, you can do with 4 fingers. Usually you spread around the crown. You can do with both hands. And some people prefer to do this way. The same way some people prefer to do this way. Simple. You can do this, 2 feet, 2 hands, 1 hand, just get around the crown, or you tap like this. What's important about this is actually you are waking up, you are shaking. The best way I can call is we are shaking the nervous system and whatever is connected with our feelings, thoughts about what it holds us back, all that, it's shaking that, and the result is amazing, okay? Another thing that I want to call your attention is, it's very important, first of all, to establish what are you working, right? What's my issue? Today I'm working on, I'll have a client that's very difficult or a student that's very difficult. I have a meeting. I'm very nervous about that meeting because last time I didn't have my ideas through, whatever it is, or that person will be there. That person is a pain in my neck. I don't know what the issue is. So you just think about the issue. Be very clear about the issue. One. Second thing is to grade from 0 to 10. I would say from 1 to 10, because if it was 0, you're not doing it, right? So from 1 to 10, you grade how much that is affecting me. It's anxiety, is fear, is oh, today have a family dinner, and really I go because it's birthday of my grandma, or whatever it is, the situation, like, oh, but that person, that matter, I know that person will ask me that, or I have to give a bad news, right? So whatever it is, it's clear how much from 0 to 10, how much it's bothering me. And then you give a grade. Why you give a grade? Because as you do the rounds, they call rounds, right? When you do the entire body, the 9 points, it's one round. And then you assess again. And then you see what's the grade you give. Oh, it was 8, and really now it's 4. It's 6. It's 7. It's 2. I don't feel that feeling that I was feeling. It's 0. It's 1, and then you keep doing rounds until it's decrease at least less than 50%, like more than 50% comparing to the beginning. So that's I think it's, and if you feel stuck, and then there is another point, there is another kind of round that you can go through to have an issue that you feel stuck. But then I prefer not to mix all that together. As all these master classes we are doing, it's just 1 hour talking for you to have an idea and have the tool for you to use in your benefit. But all these things have so much more to say, right? Each masterclass, it's just an idea. I try to give you the most I can so you have a consistent tool, not just a superficial idea, the tool that you can use in your benefit, okay? But not to complicate. I want to make it simple, effective, and practical. And you have something in your hand that is written, you have an exercise to do, and today we have a chance to do together, okay? And you can keep repeating. And you know my telephone number. You know how to find me. If you have doubts, you can always talk to me, okay? So let me look here, let me see the next video, okay, that I want to show you.
So that goes.
Okay, so I will put this video here. I'll share with you in 1 second, okay? Let me just prepare everything.
Welcome to the tappingsolution.com.
So now she is the sister. They work together. And this video will repeat a little bit what he said, but in a little bit different version. So you have a better idea what it is about, okay? Ready?
Ready.
Yay. Let me see here how I can.
Times bestseller, The Tapping Solution for Weight Loss and Body Confidence. And in this short video, I am going to introduce you to the tapping points. Just by learning these 9 points, you can start your journey to relieve stress. Many of these points you may already intuitively use. A lot of times when we're feeling anxious or stressed, we go like this. We put our hand on our chest. Now we're using these points in a very conscious manner. So the very first point that you need to learn is the side of the hand. And it doesn't matter what side of the body you tap on. This point is called the karate chop point. You got it. And tap along with me so you can get comfortable with these points. The next point is the eyebrow point. And this is where the hair begins on your eyebrow, right on that bone. There you go. You got it. Now you're going to follow that bone until you find yourself on the side of your eye. So it's not your temple. It's right on that bone. The next point is underneath the eye. So once again, you follow that bone until you find yourself right underneath the eye. And as you're tapping, you might notice that some points are more sensitive than others. The next point is underneath the nose. So right between your upper lip and your nose. Then we have the under the lip point, or some people call it the chin point. It's right underneath your lip on that crease between your chin and your lip. The next one is the collarbone point. So you can use your whole hand to tap on your chest, or you can feel that U-shaped bone, and if you go down an inch and over an inch on either side, you're going to hit that point. Perfect. The next point is underneath the arm, and it's about a hand width from your armpit. For women, this is about where your bra strap lies. And then the last point, and yes, I know it looks silly, but a great point to hit a lot of these meridians is right on the top of the head. There you go. So those are the 9 points. Now, when you want to start to tap, the first thing to do is to notice what is really coming up. What's your most pressing issue? Are you nervous about a deadline at work? Are you anxious about a phone call or some news that you've heard? Whatever it is, get clear on what's creating the anxiety in your body. Because when we are feeling stressed, we're not just experiencing stress in our head, we feel it with our whole body. Which is why it's so powerful to use a stress relief technique that incorporates the body. So you start by tapping on the side of the hand, and you start with the setup statement. The setup statement is pretty easy, and it sets you up for the process. You state your challenge, and you end it with a phrase of acceptance, or simply letting yourself know that you're okay. So it sounds something like this. Even though I'm really anxious about this meeting, I accept how I feel. Or even though I'm really stressed about this upcoming event, I accept how I feel and I give myself permission to relax. There's a lot of different ways to do the setup statement, but what's key is to let yourself know that you honor how you feel. Because too often when we're trying to move past an emotion, we're fighting against it. When we allow ourselves to accept where we are and how we feel, we open ourselves up to releasing it. Then you tap on the rest of the points by simply sharing how you feel. So you can pretend that you're calling a friend and you're just complaining, you're just telling them how you feel. This is the tape that you're probably already running in your head. So as a short example, going with this theme of being nervous about a meeting, it would start with tapping on the side of the hand and saying, even though I'm so nervous about this upcoming meeting, I accept how I feel and I give myself permission to relax.
Practice,
do that 3
girls,
times.
practice.
Now you tap on the rest of the points while giving a voice to how you feel. And this sends a calming signal to your brain, letting your brain know that even though you're nervous about this meeting, that you are safe, that it's safe to relax. And when you can relax, you can be more resourceful and creative, do a great job at your meeting. So then you would go to the eyebrow point and say something like this: stress around this meeting. Side of the eye, I'm nervous I won't do well. Under the eye, I care so much about this meeting and it's causing me anxiety. Under the nose, the stress around this meeting. Chin, all of these expectations. Collarbone, this tension I feel in my body. Underneath the arm, all this stress around this meeting. Top of the head, all this stress around this meeting. If you're not sure what to say, like I mentioned before, you can pretend you're talking to a friend, or you can just say the same thing, honoring how you feel, the stress around this meeting, the stress around this meeting. And once we bring down the intensity, we can focus on some positive phrases. Because when we pull out the weeds, we're able to now seed. We can actually say positive things to ourselves and we believe them. So once you feel better, and that's the key, when you feel better, you can move to something more positive. So it would sound something like this. I'm prepared. Side of the eye. I'm calm and confident. Under the eye. I'm ready to share my ideas. Under the nose. I feel strong and confident. Chin. This is my time. Collarbone. I am ready for this meeting. Under the arm, I feel calm and confident. Top of the head, now is my time. So you can incorporate how you're feeling, letting go of the anxiety, and when you're able to move that, then you bring in the more positive, and then it actually feels real. So next time you tap, notice, as soon as you start feeling better, try to put in some positive statements. You'll get to the point where you can think about that meeting and your body feels relaxed. And when you feel relaxed, then it's easier to bring in more empowering thoughts. Now, when you tell yourself that you can feel confident and prepared, you can believe yourself because you let go of the anxiety that was coming up with those thoughts. So that's a very, very quick introduction on where the tapping points are and how to tap. But here at thetappingsolution.com, we have a lot more resources so you can really learn how to get the best results. Well, it's been an honor to introduce tapping to you. I hope this is just the beginning. And until we meet again, take care and keep tapping.
Cute, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So it's Jessica and Nick Ortner. So, just a second. All right. So that's it. 9 points. One is the kind of statement, setting up the statement. 8 points or lower. Finish, assess again how it is. Continue doing. When you start feeling better, you use like a different statement, right? So there is no phrases that are right. Or, of course, they've been doing this for some decades. They have the experience what works better or not. But we are not there yet, right? So we're just doing something to alleviate the tension, to feel better, right? So it's that's enough. Whatever you can do for yourself is enough. Don't not do it because you think you don't know how to do it better. Okay, Deb, you had the practice of the points.
Yeah, I was doing them.
Did you do it?
And,
okay.
Yeah, and I wrote down that other statement that she made, that after you finished it and got better, then you do the positive talking. So I kind of wrote that as a note. So,
Yes.
you know, once
One thing I like, well, I'm sorry, continue. Go
well,
ahead.
I was just to say, there was one thing, you know, but it might take 20 or 30 rounds to get to that 50%.
No, honey, it won't.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Can I say that just tapping, I just feel better already. That sounds like I feel like I'm crazy, but it does get, just having the body touch, it was great.
It is because again, Janice, this is deeply connected to the flight and fight. It's connected, so it impresses the amygdala. We always have a kind of attention about something, or the traffic, or some news. It doesn't need to be about us. So, for example, in Brazil, we have kind of a disaster, and it's we are all so nervous about, so sad. So that thing, I'm not thinking about this all the time, but it's here, right? It's here. It's like Katrina in Brazil happening right now. So it's awful, right? So in the news, or something that you heard, or an event, sometimes you watch something happened to other people and you like, really, right? Or a little dog or whatever it is. If it's not happening to you, it's behind here somehow. We have stress. We live in a big city. We are exposed, right? So we don't have that perfect life, right? So there is always something. So even if you didn't direct that to an issue, it makes you feel better just doing the tapping without focusing something. No, you're not crazy.
No, because I mean, I can still feel the top of my head.
It's like, yeah, it's awake, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, but I mean, I can still feel the sensation in the top of my head. And I wasn't pounding on my head. It was just, but it's kind of like, oh, okay. I might be.
Let me find here the other one I want to show you. Ah, this is beautiful. So now I will show you. He was doing tapping in an auditorium with a bunch of people, and the people raise their hand to talk about the issue, and they come for him in the stage to work on them. Okay, so I'll put one. I chose the ones that I think that are more impactful, so I chose these to show you. So let me just my computer is thinking. Okay, you know when they think and they do it's thinking. All right. We just open here. Let me share. You guys ready?
Ready.
Can you see my black thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So here we go.
It's so profound that Steffi's lost her voice and can't speak, and so I'm giving her speaking words, yeah, for her. Steffi's 21, and about 12 months ago, she started having severe seizures. They came from nowhere. She'd had no history of this sort of condition in her life before, and she's had a lot of tests, and they haven't really been able to discover a reason for the seizures. And she's just such an amazing woman. I'm so proud that she's my friend. Don't make it about me too soon. And on Wednesday night, Steffi was playing basketball and come down hard on her, landed hard, but she did score the goal. And it jerked something, and she had another really severe seizure. And as a result, she's again lost her speech. It's happened previously for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks, she lost her speech previously. And so Asher and I were coming to I Can Do It. We're from Townsville, and Steffi's from Melbourne, and we met at AI, Angel Intuitive, 2 years ago and formed a really close bond. And so we'd asked Steph if she could meet up with us, and she couldn't. She had work commitments, but this has been a real gift that she decided yesterday, even though she'd had that severe seizure and she can't speak, that she jumped on the train from Melbourne and to come here today. So when Wayne said, who are those people who weren't coming yesterday? Steffi's one of those people. And I was just sending out such thought waves that you would ask for a second round of healing and tapping neck.
What time is it? I don't think. All right, come up quick. Let's go quick.
Do you want me to,
Come up quick.
you want me to come, Steph, or you like?
All right, this is we're gonna. I think we can do it. We can do it. You guys okay? Just hang in a couple minutes. Okay. And I've never done anything like this, so you know. Hello. Lovely to meet you. Have a seat. Okay, fine. So there's room on the couch. I guess this is what we're doing. All right. So how do we do this? So you lost your speech a couple of days ago after a seizure. There's tension right there in the neck. Okay. And when you try to speak, what happens? Nothing. Just locked up. What do the doctors say? You got a note? I'm going to read the doctor's note. This is the first. Oh, there we go. Okay. Doctors say. Do, 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 do. She's a lefty like me, so it's good. The doctors say that she's making it up. Oh, thanks, doctors. That's really nice. The doctors say I'm making this up, so I'm on an alternative journey. Round of applause for that. All right, let's just tap and see what we can do. Okay. So this is a great example of actually not needing to vocalize the tapping. You can just focus on it. Okay. And we can laugh about it too. That's great. All right, tapping the side of the hand. Even though this muscle in my neck is locked up.
I just want to call your attention that the entire audience is doing with her. You can hear a humming that everybody's really with her, giving her the support and doing the tapping. Everybody's doing the tapping. It like in the intention of her good. Just call your attention about that. He will make a comment in the end.
From this seizure, something's not working, and I can't speak. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I had this seizure, and something's locked up in my neck, I ask my body to relax and feel safe now. One more time, even though I can't speak, I can't say what I want to say. I can't speak my truth. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Eyebrow, this locked up muscle. Side of the eye, this locked up muscle in my neck. Under the eye, I can't speak. Under the nose, the side of my neck is locked up. Under the mouth, from this seizure. Collarbone, and I can't speak. Under the arm, and the doctors say I'm making it all up. Top of the head, and that's so frustrating. Eyebrow, I wonder what I'm trying to say. Side of the eye, I wonder what I need to say out loud. Under the eye, I wonder how I can speak. Under the nose, this locked up muscle. Under the mouth, in the side of my neck. Collarbone, it's safe to relax it. Under the arm, it's safe to let all this anger go. Top of the head, that's in my neck. Take a deep breath.
He did 2 rounds, right? So usually you do 1, assess again, but he did 2 rounds.
What came up for you there? Any movement, physical movement or shift or motion? Little movement? Yeah. Were you able to do that before? Okay, so she just said no. She just said no. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. This is too much fun. All right. Even though I've got this locked up muscle on the side of my neck, I choose to release it now. Even though I'm holding on tight to something, I can't speak. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have all this anger in my neck, I want to scream out, and I can't speak. I deeply, completely love and accept myself. Eyebrow, this locked up muscle. Side of the eye, this anger in my neck. Under the eye, it's safe to let it go. Under the nose, it's safe to speak. Under the mouth, I choose to speak. Collarbone, I choose to speak the truth. Under the arm, I choose to speak my truth. Top of the head, I choose to release all this anger. Eyebrow, this locked up muscle. Side of the eye relaxes now. Under the eye, all the trauma from this seizure. Under the nose releases now. Under the mouth, letting it go. Collarbone, feeling safe in my body. Under the arm and letting it go. Top of the head right now. Deep breath. Can you say no again?
No.
You can't make this up. All right. Can you say yes?
Yes. It's a bit random, isn't it?
Am I in like a practical joker show? Some cameras up here that, when people tell me that they're in pain, the pain goes away, I often don't really believe them. I think they're just trying to make me happy. This is taking it to a whole new level. What did you experience there?
I guess like the last time I've had my seizure and I did lose my voice, it took about 3 weeks, sorry, to relax everything and get all my muscles moving again. But I guess just gradually as I was saying it, I began to feel a lot looser and words just started to come out, and I think it just really settled down my brain and helps me rethink again and get all the words out.
Wow. You're amazing. You're amazing. And look, there's one copy of the book up here. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And it's, yes. Yeah, so the question is this something you can collectively contribute to? I think that there's amazing power in that. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
So
That was amazing.
pretty
Yeah.
powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty powerful. And I am always a believer in people. It doesn't cross my mind that it's fake or it never crossed my mind. I know that many people, it's set up. For me, and I believe in the body, I believe in the healing, the heal comes from within. And I believe that all these holistic methods came to help us in the moment that we see the medicine as practice, not as science, but medicine as practice has such a crisis, right? And doctors saying things and trying to predict and play God, and the lab is having these so strong power in making doctors can doctrinate doctors to prescribe and prescribe and prescribe, and they have 7 minutes to be with the client. So it's the distortion of the beautiful medicine from Hippocrates, right? It's so different today that maybe it's written by God that it will be all that twisted, just because this way it's the moment to we have all this power that we all have inside to really have the healing more accessible, not so dependent on drugs or anything. I think we are in a moment of a big round in this planet for good things coming, good things coming for us, right? So we still have some moments, and I want to do some exercise with you. Tell me anything, how it impacted you, this video.
The impression that I got, I mean, other than it worked, is that it helped her to relax, since it seemed to be her neck and her was kind of
We saw
locked up.
that. I want to know the
Yeah.
impact on you. What
Oh.
happened there, and we are witness, right? But I want to know how what you watched impacted you. What's the lesson that if some, if any, what you learned to watching that?
Well, I think it's a relaxing, and so that the tapping kind of calms your body. So I'm hopeful that that's going to work on my three major issues. Yeah, that's why it's like, oh, it only takes a couple of times. We've been working on it for a long time. Now I'll try this approach on my knees, ankles, and other things. So it's like, and I think the power of positive vibes or energies going to that location. I haven't been doing that. So I think this is going to be more focused to that particular issue for me.
Okay. For you, Janice, what did that video, how it impacted you?
Well, I was tapping along. I adapted it for not speaking up trauma. And so I adapted it for my own issues. And so that was really cool. And it was great to hear her talk. And like Debbie was saying, it's like the relaxation. And I think the thing I really liked was about this technique is how you go, and I completely love and accept myself, and how he transformed the other things he was saying too. Like that's like the tapping plus that programming, the oral programming is really powerful. It's so simple. I wasn't expecting things to I didn't know exactly what EFT was. I wasn't expecting it to be so easy, but to also go, oh, I feel better.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's cool.
Yes. Yeah. So in the next video, I want you turn your mics, because I want you think about one issue you want to work. Could be emotional, could be a thought, could be something. Go for the easiest. I always recommend to start those practices with the easiest thing. So you see the result, and it will give you more confident. You'll be more confident, right? You trust the technique better to do other stuff. Okay. So I had an experience with a client once with FT. She's a designer, a cloth designer, and she was in excruciating pain in her back. And she was doing work with me, and she was getting better. But days that work more and all that. So one day she called me, Katia, I have such a headache, and it's like a cold, like 3 hours ago it started, and I'm congested, and something when I heard her saying told me that it was not a cold, that was something else, as she was telling me. So I told her, why don't you come anyways, and we can try EFT on your cold. I don't know what it is. It's like, just come. Let's see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I will do some craniosacral or something to relax you. So to relax your back. Okay, she came. In a couple of rounds of EST, all the symptoms of that bad cold was coming to her disappeared. And she was like, Katya, what is that? It's kind of a magic, right? But and it's something that's very physical, right? But it was 3 hours in, and I just felt like it was so overwhelming thing that was decreasing her immune system, right? Just going down. So I worked on her immune system, and voila, it happened. So it's powerful, it works, and we just need to practice more and more to get the results you want. So think about the issue. I'll get the video, and you will turn off your all right. Right. It's a very quick video, and you will do with him, okay?
Tapping, another name for it is EFT, emotion.
Good. You can see him? Yeah? Okay. So you just be ready to do with him, okay? I'll do with you too.
Tapping, another name for it is EFT, emotional freedom technique. We call it tapping because we are literally physically tapping on endpoints of meridians of our body. And what the latest research shows is that when we tap on these places in our body while we're stressed, anxious, overwhelmed.
Is this the video you saw first? It's different. Okay, got it.
We send a calming signal to the amygdala in the brain, the fight or flight part of us, the part that's stressed, the part that's hurried. It sends a calming signal there, helps to rewire the brain and find peace within. We're combining the best of both worlds. We're going a little bit beyond talk therapy, which is wonderful. And when we talk about our feelings and we express what's going on in our lives, we can certainly create change. A lot of people find that they get stuck. So they'll say like, I've been talking about this issue for a decade and it doesn't seem to get better. I've been dealing with a fear of flying. I've been dealing with this anxiety. I've been dealing with this thing that I can't seem to break through. And what the tapping does beautifully is it brings this body that we have in, right? We tend to forget that it's not just our mind up here, that it's our whole body. So when we bring the body in and when we combine it with the tapping, with the mind, we send that calming signal. We sort of break that pattern of what's happening in our brains. They'll wake up every morning and go, wait, how does that work? Like I said, the research shows we're calming that amygdala. You mentioned the pandemic. We focused on the frontline workers. So we donated over 22,000 memberships to nurses and doctors and everyone who was on the front lines doing that extra work. So for them, for example, we created specific tapping meditations in the app for before a shift and after a shift, just trying to get their energy settled before a shift. I mean, think about it. Like you're in the thick of it. I mean, that work is hard to start with. And now you add, the lockdowns and the stress and, the places that were hit hard with COVID. So preparing them for the day. And then at the end of the day, letting go of the day. So these were just processes to calm down the body, to let the body know that it's safe, to turn off that fight or flight response. Even just 5 minutes a day will transform your life. It doesn't have to be a big commitment to see the change. Nick, it's over to you. When we tap, we start by just tuning into what we want to work on. So take a moment now, as we've had this conversation, maybe you thought about some stress in your life, some anxiety you're feeling. If you're angry about something, if you're sad about something, just pick a target. Try to notice a place in your life, something you want to let go of. Now, this could be big or small. It can be something huge, or it can be, last week someone said something to me and I can't stop thinking about it. It's running through my brain. I can't let it go. So go ahead and pick that thing for yourself. And then we want to give it a number in intensity so we can measure the before and after. Really simple, 0 to 10 scale. How anxious are you? How stressed are you? How much does this bother you? Go ahead and give it a number. If you're in physical pain, I mentioned earlier, tapping is great for physical pain. You can focus on that. You can say, you know what, my back really hurts. It's at an 8. I'm angry and I'm at a 9. I just can't let this go. So we have our target, we have a number, and then we're going to start tapping. We start by tapping on the side of the hand. It's on the outside of the hand below the pinky. You're taking 4 fingers of one hand and tapping on the other, whatever hand feels comfortable for you. And then repeat after me, either in your mind or out loud, tapping continuously. Even though I have this stress in my body,
Even though I have this stress in my body,
I choose to relax now.
I choose to relax now.
We're going to stay on the side of the hand 2 more statements. Even though I have all this stress,
Even though I have all this stress,
hard to let it go.
hard to let it go.
Open to releasing it now.
I'm open to releasing it now.
And one more time, still tapping on the side of the hand, even though I'm holding on
Even though I'm holding on
to all this stress,
to all this stress,
I choose to let it go now.
I choose to let it go now.
Now we'll tap through the points. I'll describe them. Don't worry about getting them perfect. The first point with 2 fingers of one hand or both hands is on the inside of the eyebrow where the hair ends and it meets the nose. You're going to tap gently. And as you tap, just focus in on this issue. So if you have back pain, just feel it. If you're angry about something, think the thought. We're actually looking to fire the brain, fire that amygdala, and send that calming signal. So think about what that person said to you, the stress in your life. Now we move to the side of the eye. It's not at the temple, right next to the eye, on the bone. Again, one side or both sides, tapping gently, tuning in to this thing, this issue that you'd like to let go of. Thinking about it, visualizing it if you see things, or just having those thoughts. The next point is under the eye. Again, one side or both sides, tapping gently, thinking these thoughts, bringing your mind to this thing that has been stuck, that's been tough to let go of, and opening up to the possibility of letting it go. Now moving under the nose, 2 fingers right underneath the nose, making gentle contact with the skin and the bone, thinking about this issue. What's going on in your life that you want to let go of? Why has this been hard to let go of? Now, under the mouth, above the chin, below the lip, and that little crease there, tapping gently, thinking these thoughts. And if you get distracted or you're trying to figure out the points, that's okay. Just bring your mind back to this issue, the anger, the anxiety, everything that's been going on. And just notice as you acknowledge how you feel, as you give yourself that moment to acknowledge the stress, the anxiety, the anger, your body begins to let go. That space begins to open up. The next point is the collarbone point. Just take all 10 fingers of both hands right below the 2 little bones, tapping gently, bringing your attention back to this issue, this pain, this anger, this anxiety. Noticing how it begins to loosen its grip. You begin to feel safe in your body, to open to the possibility of letting this go. Strong, grounded, and safe. The next point is underneath the arm, 3 inches underneath the armpit, either side of the body. Bring your attention back to it and let it go. Bring your attention back to it and let it go. And the last point in the sequence is right at the top of the head, right on the crown. Thinking about this issue, letting it go. And we'll do one more quick round, moving right back to the eyebrow, and repeat after me, either in your mind or out loud. It's safe to let this go.
Safe to let this go.
The eye. I'm open to releasing this issue.
Open to release this issue.
Under the eye, and finding peace in my body.
Finding peace in
Under the nose, letting go. Under the mouth, I'm strong, grounded, and safe.
my I'm strong.
Collarbone, in every cell of my body.
In every cell of
Under the arm, right now.
my body, right now.
top of the head right now. And go ahead and take a gentle breath in. You can stop tapping and tune back into that issue. So we did 2 quick rounds.
Feel great. Nick, I love you so much. I hope to meet you one day, but I feel like we just got to know each other a bit better. So thank you so much for your time.
Take care.
Nick, live from Connecticut. How cool is that?
So, if you assess yourself, do you have
I'm
a
here to talk to you
change of
about
the numbers?
tapping today. Who here is familiar with tapping? Show of hands.
I
Well-
think so. During the first round, it wasn't, but by the
What
time
the- what was the number when you started?
I gave it a 5 when I started, because
Okay.
I didn't want to go to the knees. Those were, I figured it would take
You
more.
gave a 5.
I
And
gave
then
a 5.
Now in the end, how much it is?
I would say it's probably a 1 or a 2.
It's awesome.
But at the first round, it was still prominent. But by the time we got to the eyebrows again, it was, for me, for the pain that I was going for, it really went down. It was like, wow.
When I do with beginners, I usually do 3 rounds because we are not used to the thinking, the thought process, the talking, the tapping. So usually I do. So I don't assess in the first round or the second round. I just go, do it again and again, and then assess. And for you, Janice, how much was in the beginning?
Around a 7.
7.
Yeah.
And how much is in the end?
Or a 2 or a 3.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Mine was a 9, and I can say now it's a 3 or 4. It's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to tackle my other major issues. I'm not sure. That's going to take more than 1 or 2 rounds.
Why? Why you're predicting the worst?
Because I'm starting,
Why you're predicting the worst?
well,
You
I'm
don't
predicting
know.
start
You
at
don't
10.
You
So,
don't know. You don't know.
no,
What
but
will happen?
Oh,
So
1 minute.
if you prefer to think about the worst, you will be preparing for the worst. So just be open to the best that can be for you.
yeah.
Anything else you guys want to say or want to add?
I'm afraid I have to go right now. It's 4:15.
My
Time.
question is, do you have anything else to add, to ask, or to say?
No.
No?
No, I'm going to practice this in the next 15, 20 minutes till
Beautiful.
when
Bye.
So you guys have a wonderful week. And with this, we finish our round of master classes. And next week we have a gathering again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.